But to conclude talking about this article then, Ahmad says unless there's international enforcement, i.e. a restriction, a meaningful restriction on what Israel can do militarily, then a land for peace solution or a sort of two-state solution is never going to work. Then Ahmad does touch upon this a little bit in her article as well, which is the view that the international realm is extremely important, specifically arguing that Israel-Palestine is still a proxy war. And a proxy war means that instead of, for instance, the United States fighting the Soviet Union or Russia directly, so we could use perhaps a better known example of this at the moment, Ukraine, where Russia say that certain powers like the US are using Ukraine as a proxy war, is basically is saying the consequences of the US and Russia fighting each other directly are so severe because each side can't lose face, each side has so many weapons, etc., that instead they use smaller conflicts in order to battle for influence and control of certain regions. And they do that by things like supplying weapons, for instance. Lots of people think that Israel-Palestine is still an international proxy war. The biggest supporter for Israel is the United States. And previously, the Soviet Union represented the Palestinians. Today, Russia, Putin's views are broadly supportive of Palestine. For instance, Palestinian right to self-determination. For instance, that Israeli policy is unacceptable, that support from the United States is unacceptable. Russia also sort of has expressed support for Iranian support for Palestine. So a lot of people would say that this is still a bit of an international proxy war, perhaps also between the United States and Iran, for instance, Iran being a big backer of Palestinians. So what Ahmad says about this is that these scholars who think about the international proxy war, what they assume is that both sides, Israel and Palestine, want to minimize the costs or the sort of deaths and tragedy and economic costs from escalating conflict, while also at the same time wanting to benefit from the aggression. So US want to, in some ways, minimize the escalation, but they also want to benefit from being seen to sort of prevent Iranian power and achieving their objectives in the region.